is Monica Achieng. Come from Homa Bay County, and I've been diagnosed with the cancer of the breast. I was born in a polygamous family, and my mother was the third wife. And in our household, we are 3 children. I am the second born. And thank God for this far that I have reached. And after being diagnosed with the breast cancer, I can say that this far I've been strong in the Lord, in His grace, and the family also, they are strong. And the challenges have been there, and I call it a journey. It's a journey of which needs a lot of strength. And I'm encouraged to be among the people who are warriors of this challenge. As I started to feel some kind of a growth on my armpit, that was 2017. And when I found there is some growth on the lymph nodes inside the armpit, not on the breast. It was inside the armpit. It was just one. Then I said maybe it's just kind of a swelling, so I ignored it because it was not painful. I proceeded to listen and check, but after some time a second one came just next to it. That second one was a bit smaller in size. It was also not painful. I ignored it also. Then it reached 2018 January. The third swelling came. That was now on the breast, just in line. They were just lined, and it was bigger. It was growing faster now. Then I got scared. That one was now painful. Then I went to a facility to check what is this. They did a mammogram, they did a FNA, and they said it's non-malignant, it's not cancerous. And when I got that information with all those results, I was happy, and I said, so I'm not supposed to fear anything. Yeah, and really, when you get to understand the word cancer, that time, it was scaring for me. So being told it is non-malignant, it's not cancerous, that was a happy news. So I went back home, and I said, I'm okay. And I stayed for around 7 months, and the size of the growth increased. And the first 2 swellings, they joined together. They became a lump. They joined together with the third one. They became a bigger lump. Then I said, no, I have to look for another opinion. So I took leave from my place of work. I explained to them that I'm going for a medical checkup. So I traveled to the home county, that is from Nairobi. I traveled to Kisumu. When I reached Kisumu, I went to the government hospital to check, because I said to my heart that nowadays I hear the government facilities have good machines and I can get to be checked again. So I went there. That time I went, I found that there were so many people anyway in the outpatient unit. So I waited around 3 when I was reaching to the nurse, and I was put to the bed there for a checking. As they were checking, the nurse just saw the breast and said, no, this one, I need to take you to take you somewhere. This is it's already big. So when we went to the oncology unit of the hospital, there was no doctor that day. So we waited on the bench, There was another woman also on the bench there waiting, and as we were getting tired, then she said she's going across the road to see a private doctor. So I asked her if I can accompany her. She encouraged me, let's go together. He's been my doctor. She told me she's from India with the results. She wanted now to show the doctor. So we crossed, we walked, and reached the doctor's place. We found him. I paid the consultation fee. Then I walked in, and it was not easy, because when the doctor checked on my breast, he just said to me, "Why have you waited for so long?" Then I told him I'd gone to another facility. They told me it's non-cancerous. So I sat, because I didn't want also to hear the word cancer, being that I have cancer. So being told it is non-cancerous, really, I went comfortable and sat. As much as I was seeing the growth was increasing in size. So the doctor said, "How can I help you?" I said, because he told me certain amount for the biopsy. And it was on the higher side. I told him I can't get the money. That one is too much. He asked me what I'm doing. And I told him I can't afford this. He told me you need this much for him to do for me biopsy. After talking some time, he said that amount I cannot raise it. So he said, "How can I help you, lady?" Then he made some phone calls. He started calling some people. He called. Finally called one who told him, I could hear over the phone, who told him, if the lady has transport, tell her to come over to Eldoret. That is how I traveled and came to Chandaria Cancer Center.
But what happened next?
I came to be done for the biopsy. When I reached, they also checked on the breast, and you could see on the face that they are scared. It's too big. Because it was even already turned red. It's already red, like it will burst anytime. So you could read on the face of the doctor that they are scared. I reached, they did the biopsy. At the time of the biopsy, even as I'm going for the biopsy, I have not known what it is. I really had not known what it is. So when I reached the procedure room, I was told, we want to take some pieces from the growth to take it for further examination to see if this growth is cancerous. That is what the doctor explained then. The needle was put, and they pulled some, around 5 times. They pulled. It was not painful at that time. They had put some anesthesia. Then I tell you, after some 5 minutes or 10 after leaving the procedure room, it was too much pain. And the blood really was coming out of that place. It was I went through a lot of pain. And they told me they will call me when the results are out. Still, at that far, I was still just praying in my heart that it's not going to be cancerous, So they called me, and the results are out after some time when I was called to come for the result. On my journey to come for the results, I was still having a very big faith that I don't have cancer. In fact, I said many times inwardly, I don't have cancer. So I reached the hospital, then I said, I've come for the results. I was called to come over for them. I said, okay. You just wait. The file was removed. They moved. When I reached the doctor, it was a bit late, also around 4 in the evening. So the doctor said, have you known your results? Then I said, I've not known my results. That's why I'm here. I've come for the result. Even up to that extent, I'm still seated there saying I don't have cancer. So the doctor said, he was writing as he's talking to me. And he's talking and he's writing down. I said, no, you have been found with cancer, and we will manage it. Then I asked him, the only question I had come with along was, when you are diagnosed with cancer, you are to ask what stage. So that was the question I remember. I asked the doctor, what stage is it? And the doctor said it is stage 3. So you are to take this blood test before we continue to move to the next step of your treatment. So I was allowed to go for the blood test. He wrote me the request form. Then I went for the blood test. As I was waiting for the results of the blood test, I had already been called by some friends and the colleagues from the office, and I told them it is cancer and it is stage 3. And that time now I was just crying. But when they say, the doctor encouraged me that even if it is stage 3, it will be okay. What is funny is that there is that NHIF form which you fill. When I was given the NHIF form now, I just didn't take it to the NHIF office. I sat down somewhere and I read it. And I found it is not stage 3. I found it's written 3B. So I was like, so it is not even 3, it is 3B. When it is 3B, then it is just next to 4. So those ones, I said, no. Anyway, that is how the treatment now
That's how the diagnosis
began. But I just want to say something that when the blood test was done, it also shocked me. Because this was on a Wednesday when the result is given that I have cancer. And I'd come with the big faith that I don't have cancer. So Wednesday I was crying. Then Thursday the blood results came out. As I picked the blood results, I didn't know how to read them, so I just reached them to the doctor. The doctor said, you know what? You don't have blood. In fact, you came alone. I said, yes. You carried this bag? I said, yes, because I had my bag which had come with the journey. He said, and you are not feeling anything? I said, I'm not feeling anything. So he was wondering how I'm still walking, even carrying a weight, yet I don't even have blood. So he told me that we have to add you for pains. You don't have blood, so we cannot start your chemotherapy. Then
did he check you earlier? Your these under the eyelid?
No, they didn't check. They just sent me for the blood test. So the blood test is what now revealed. Is what now revealed that this lady is anemic. He's not having enough blood. So that was now the Thursday. That one now made me to cry again. That I have cancer and I also even don't have enough blood. So I cried that day too. Now coming that day, they also sent me the Thursday. They sent me for the CT scan to get the picture. So I went for the CT scan.
The chest and
the chest and the abdomen. The result for the CT scan came out on a Friday. So went to the doctor again now on Friday. He checked this and he said, okay, it has not gone so far. So he explained it as, it's okay now, your chemo should begin on a Monday. But because you don't have blood, we are taking you to the ward. You are being admitted. In my life, I've never been admitted to the also. I go, I come out, but I've never been admitted. So getting the word admission again, this is on a Friday. That's now I cried again. So for the last 3 days, it was hard for me. It was so hard. I said, how can life be like this? It's a negative information on a Wednesday, negative information on the Thursday, negative information on this Friday. So that Friday, people leave a bit early. They leave the hospital. So it is reaching 4. I'm still there. People are already with the doctor. And he said, no, we need to admit you. He has even written the admission card. And the nurse told him that we can't admit this lady because there is no blood. That time it was August and the colleges are closed. There is no blood she will get when she's in the ward over the weekend. So let her just come back on Monday. Then we start to check on
how relatives even around
yes.
to donate.
Yes.
Okay, but my question is, when the doctor told you that you have low blood, no other questions, no other examinations?
No, there was no other examination.
No questions about even your menses or periods, whether they were heavy?
No, they didn't ask. Though after starting the chemo, I'm the one who came back, the first chemo, to tell the doctor that the menses are so heavy, and could it be this chemo that has caused it? And he said it could be, and that was it.
So the doctor admitted you got your blood that same weekend, or you had to wait?
No, so finally I was not admitted. Finally, I was not admitted. The nurse advised that I should just come on Monday. So the weekend, I was just thinking of what has happened of the week, and I went to church. I went to church with a friend where I put up with in the town. So we went to church. Then Monday reached. I reported to the place, and they said now we are they filled the blood request form, and we waited for the blood. I was told to bring people to donate, but being that I was far even from my friends, far from members of the family, so I didn't have someone to bring, and I told them I don't have anyone around which I can bring. We were like 3 people who were waiting for blood that time. So reaching 5 in the evening, 1 pint was available for me, and it was put. The next day I got 2, and the next day following I got the last one. Then after that, chemo was begun. More I can say is that I got information about chemo from other patients, not from the doctor. The doctor just said we will begin chemo, and there are 8 sessions, and that is how it was. But now, as you are in the hostel, you meet people in this bench. When you move to the next bench, you meet another person different, like that. So I got information from other patients on the bench there, the ones who have gone through the chemo, and I asked, how is chemo? And they said, this is how it is. So I passed by the chemo area, and the chemo area and the blood place is just next. So I peeped, I saw people having put for them. So I said, this is how it is. But the medical term and the effects, I didn't know, though the doctor told me the chemo will cut your hair. I think that is the information that I got, and he told me, go cut your hair when you come back.
Nothing else. Okay, so how did you feel during the cycles, and how are you feeling at the moment?
What happened is, when I started the chemo the first day, your veins are still open, so it took a shorter time than it takes nowadays. So it was put, I saw it, the color is, then I said, I was like, if this will heal me, then I'm prepared for it. So I started the journey of chemo, and we went for the first one, the second, the third one. They say the immunity is down, the blood is also down again. So the challenge started there. But the immunity is down, and I could not even understand what is immunity being down. So I said, the blood results has shown again that your immunity is down, and we can't put for you chemo today, the doctor said. And I said, so what am I supposed to do? What do I need to eat? I started to ask questions like that. Then the doctor said, just eat balanced diet. So I said, okay, balanced diet. And from other patients also, they said, even me, my immunity is down and all those. So I started the immunity booster, and the blood was added again, two more again. I stayed for some 3 days to get these 2. After getting those 2, then the chemo was put, and I proceeded and I finished the 8th one. My challenge with that time of chemo was, I get the chemo and I go back to the office and I was working. So the side effects, you just feel you are sick. You feel you are sick, and you feel like when you start to turn black, you turn black and people tell you, you've turned, you turn black, including the fingers, the hands, the nails. So you look at yourself and you're like, what really happened? It's like some smoke was passed on you.
Okay.
Yeah. And so adjusting it with the church, now going to church, and you still want people not to detect that something is not right. And you see that something really is not right, but you don't want people to know. So at the office, you really try to do your best at work, and interaction with people in the family also. Now you try to make it look like you are just the same person. Nothing more has changed, though the side effects really pull you down. So balancing between this starts to become a nagging issue. Then with time, I said, no, what I can do, I can do. What I can't do, I can't do. Yes.
So you were covering your head and all, you were just trying to...
When the doctor said, go shave your hair, I didn't believe him, because the hair was really long, even as he was talking. So long, I even can't touch it with it. So I didn't believe him. I said, let me wait to see what happens. For sure, I went to the salon, I made my hair nicely, and I sat and waited. The first chemo, 2 weeks, it just started cutting. It just cut. Literally, it was strange. Yeah, it was strange. It was just coming out. Then I said, oh, no wonder. The doctor said, go cut your hair, because even the cutting of your hair as it cuts from the chemo effect, it's scaring. Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes all over.
I work in Nairobi in a tour farm, and my boss is also very supportive. When I told her that I have this challenge, so she even tried to refer me to other support groups like Faraja and other doctors. So it was not easy. It was not easy, though I had to ask for permission so often to come for the chemo. And I tried that after the chemo, I rest a day and I go back to work. So even in the office, we don't do a lot of. I just do the computer work, so most of the time I'm seated down. And it was not hard, but as time rolled with the chemo side effects now, it was becoming not easy because of the traveling, reaching there, I had to rest fast, so a lot of being so much absent. Then I can say when I finished the 8th chemo, I started to get chest problem. I was feeling the chest is paining and coughing, and one day I found that I could not now make it to work. So I called and I said, I'm not coming to work, I'm running for a checkup in the hospital. So it's been now like since July, I've not been back to the office. Yes.
Okay. You were traveling with public means?
Yes, I was traveling with public means.
You were comfortable
And
with that?
the public means was not so easy. So, and sometimes you travel at night so that you are here in the morning.
Yes.
And you travel again back at night so that you are there also in the morning to rest. Then the next day you are at work. So the public means is not just because you need to sit next to a window. There are times you just need that fresh air. Just need a lot of fresh air. Then, when you're not sitting next to the window, the one next to the window will not even understand to open. So I have to book earlier. You have to book earlier or go there, wait, get the right position of sitting. Then, so I can remember one time the vehicle got spoiled, and it was I was traveling at night. The vehicle got spoiled, and we had to be in the cold for long before we could proceed with the journey. The vehicle got involved in an accident, a minor accident, which we had to go to the police station with us inside, and it is in the night. that experience was not so good. Then from there I said, I just have to, I just have to change to travel daytime. So nowadays I just travel on daytime. Yeah, daytime buses.
So so what happened now? When you finished those cycles of chemotherapy,
Yes.
what happened after? And
Well,
what happened with the chest pain?
when I got the chest pain after finishing the 8th chemo, I had to rush to the hospital. I called the hostel, and I told them this is how I'm feeling. Breathing is becoming difficult, and they told me come over. Then that first day I said no, let me go to work. I get the money, then I can get out to travel. So 2 days passed. It was getting worse. The breathing becoming difficult, and the chest was paining. So they called me and said, come. Is it transport? You don't have, you come. So I came. I traveled, and from the morning I reached the hostel around 4. Yes, when I reached around 4, I took my, the procedure, file was removed. When I reached the doctor said, this is bad. So I was taken to the ward immediately. Yes, they said this is bad. Then I was put on oxygen, and I stayed in the ward for 2 weeks. Yes, then I improved a lot in the ward. I was okay. Now the cough, there was still the cough, and the chest pain now subsided, and I was discharged. The time I was getting discharged from the ward, they had said it is pneumonia. And as I was getting discharged from the ward, the time for going for surgery had also reached. Yeah, my next visit, which was to book for a surgery, had also reached while I was still. So I came from the ward, went back to the main clinic, and I booked for the surgery. And I went for the surgery, and it was successful. The breast was, the right breast was removed. And also that one was also a challenge, because when you are told that your breast is going to be removed, though they'd been saying it repeatedly, I said, so I started to get used to the information. It will be removed. Then also, as you walk around in the hostel, you see women without breasts, and I'm like, I want to talk to one to ask for the experience. At the same time, I was afraid if you stop one to ask them, so the time reached for my case, and the surgeon was so good, just told me it's okay. Though when I was in the ward, the doctor also had said that the picture, the CT scan we had done before, was showing that both breasts will be removed. Then what encouraged me to go ahead without fear was I had seen a young man. I met him in the hostel there. When I arrived, he had 2 legs, and in the talking, we became friends. So he come for a clinic, I also see him come. Then another day, I meet him with 1 leg. Then I asked him, my friend, what happened? He said, the leg had to go. So he was now without his leg. So this one told me, surely, a leg is gone. And you also see others in the also the eye. 1 eye is gone. Then I said, what about a breast? He said, no, I'm okay. That is how I just went on now with confidence. So the surgery was done, and I came for the checkups. It healed well. Yeah, and the surgeon also advised on what to do with your hand and the exercises to do so that you recover and also continue to do your normal duties. Yes, that is how it was.
And then
without the breast, for sure, for me, it's not been a challenge. And I rarely notice until the time I want to leave the house.
Okay.
Is when I noticed, until the time when I'm to go to where people are, is when I say, but I didn't notice it so much. Now, when you want to go to church, then now you sense. And I want to say that I'm a pastor also of the church. So I'd been away from the church, and now you want to go back without breast. So it was becoming a challenge. I'd been away from the church for so long that I'm sick. Though I want to go back to the church, I started asking myself, what will I do? Then I said, let me see from the support groups what. So I went to Faraja, and they said, no, we've written the names down, but the things have not come. I said, it's okay. So those are some of this. Yes, the prosthesis has not come. Those are some of the challenges that you have. But in the house at home, people are already used to the way I am. Though at the beginning it was strange, because you told us that after the 8 chemos you will be healed. That is how the family feel. How comes after the 8 chemo you are saying you have another 6? Because after the chemo, after the surgery, if a CT scan was done, not even a CT scan, X-ray was done, because the cough was still there. So the doctor said, let's go for X-ray to check how is the chest. We went, this issue of the chest and the breathing was there even there earlier. At one point I can remember the doctor said I go for echo to check if the heart is okay. So he checked the heart was okay. So at this point after the surgery, the doctor said that let's go for X-ray to check what is this in the chest. The X-ray was written, and they recommended that we go for a high resolution CT scan. When I went for the high resolution CT scan, it revealed that there is a growth in the lungs. Now this one made the whole thing again to be like, what is this? So when the result came, I went at the doctor's room, they read the result, and the doctor said, what do we do for this lady? There were 2 of them at that time. And he said, what do we do for this lady? What is this? Because it's like it brought a confusion. There is something in the lungs. So this is what we've been complaining of, a persistent cough. And so from there, they sat down, they consulted, they made some phone calls, and they said I go for 6 more chemo on a different line of drugs. Yeah, so this 6 now was to be given in day 1, day 8, day 1, day 8. It brought me a lot of thinking again that, what is this? Now they say it is now stage 4. It has gone to another organ. So I said, what is this? And I came scared again. I said, that's now back at home now. They were like, you mean you are written for again 6? Why? You know, the questions of why. And really, that is the time you can't answer, and at the same time you can't answer yourself. And I said, now I understand why cancer, you are called a warrior. Yeah.
Because it is a battle, the fight.
It's a battle that it comes, fix you in this corner. You have to come out, move on, say no. Even if you say it has metastasized to the lungs, I'm still moving on. Another round of chemos. Then I said, that is, so now I understand why you were called a cancer warrior. It is a fight, and you move on.
And things happen here and there.
Yeah. So the journey started for the 6, and you come day 1, day 8, and the challenge for this part of of this time of chemo is the change drugs they're a bit strong. And so every time you come, you find your immunity is down, and it has to be boosted. The immunity is down, it has to be boosted. And a time reached when the immune booster now was affecting me. It's reacting like an allergy. It itches your body a lot, and a lot of pain. Then sometimes you sit and you say, I didn't expect that it is going to be this way. The side effects for this sign line now was a bit stronger than the first one. So I said, you meet friends you've been with in this, and you encourage one another, you go for the support groups, you encourage one another, you hear their story also. Then sometimes you look at the other person and you say, no, God, you love me, oh, I'm still okay. And that's how it is.
So you're still undergoing those cycles?
No, I'm in the fourth cycle. Day one, I'm doing it on Monday. The fourth one, yeah. Then I'll remain with the 2 more.
Okay, but
yes.
You're optimistic.
Yes, I am. At home they're okay. What is happening is that they've been seeing it like it's really a long journey. But they get it from my testimony that I'm strong. And even when somebody comes home, they look at me, people judge cancer by looking. The cancer patient is judged by looking. So when they find you are weak and you are down, they feel now this one. But they find I'm jovial. You call me over the phone, I'm jovial, and they're like, she's okay. She's okay, but they've been supportive. Some friends also change. Even some relatives change. When you call somebody, expects you're asking for money. Because a lot of information that has gone out of cancer is that it needs money. That is what people know more on cancer, more than the other things that ask someone what is breast cancer, what is this. They don't know, but they know that it needs money. So when you call someone, they feel like, I saw Monica calling. I think she's in need of some money. Yeah, so that is a bit of information outside there that is not good. And when also somebody calls you, you say, no, I'm in the hospital. They say, I will call you later. They never call again. So it becomes like time you filter also, your friend. There is a friend I told that I'm in Eldoret, and he said, what are you doing there? I said, I'm under chemo as you're talking. Let's talk later. Then he said, what is chemo? Then I said, so you have a phone there, just Google and check. I think the person Googled and never came back, because when he called, when the person called again, he said, yeah, but you have cancer? Then I said, yes. Then never. The communication just ends. So it comes where your group of friends narrows on the outside. The ones you remain with them, support groups, yeah. But outside there, a group of friends narrows, and even the family members, some find like they want to really keep the distance. Some, yeah.
That's a challenge.
Yeah.
But you realize who to befriend and who to...
Yeah, you come to know now the people who call you, and the ones who really call, they keep calling. Yeah, they say, we are praying for you. And sometimes it reaches where you ask yourself, I met a friend in the chemo area. We were seated next to each other. The lady told me, no, me nowadays, I don't want people to call me. I don't want people to call me and tell me they are praying for me. Because a time reaches where you start to say, is it true they are praying for me? And a time also reaches you feel like you are lonely, or you are on the race alone. But you're not alone. Yeah, when I come to the hospital, I know I'm not alone. I see this person, I see the other one. When you go to the wards, you see this person is also battling, and I encourage myself, I'm not alone. Yes. I really appreciate the availability of services, support of the services of NHIF, yeah, because it has taken a bigger part of the payments, which if we were just to go to it alone as a family, it would have not been easy. Then when people were expecting you will be calling to raise funds for, you find that NHIF came in good to support the part of a major part of the treatment. And so it is encouraging, and I would also encourage people to make sure they have an NHIF.
Really?
Yes. Then the other parts, like now you look for transport, you want to look for other needs of the money. You have to have some friends and the family. The family has been so supportive, we give you the transport to come over, things like that. The workplace, they've been the ones paying for the NHIF still.
Oh.
Yes, then that one has been a very good support from the workplace. They pay for the NHIF. And what has been my financial challenge was the money to buy other drugs. Yeah. When you come, you are told that the immunity is down. And the drug for the immunity is 5,600, I think, or something. So once, it's like when you go for the blood test, you're just praying, crossing your fingers. Oh, let the immunity be okay, because once it is down, you have to go buy that drug. And when you're going to buy it, it's cash. It's not covered under the NHIF. So it becomes expensive. Just the trip to the hospital, and you are told every month now, because the immunity is down every month, to get the 6,000. It's just 6,000. So I said, no, this one is becoming a challenge. So what I was told is sometimes go to the social work to ask for the money. The challenge is the social work is also overburdened. Even as we wait on the bench, we are many waiting on the bench for the assistance. And the people who are in need of support from that social work office, they are just too many. So we wait, we move in, then they tell you, call some people to help, or how much do you also have, so that and they can manage to support you once. Yeah.
It's difficult to sustain
you there, with the request, and you really understand also. So the social work is also overstressed with the needs, and you see people there, they're really poor. Their situation is even urgent. They really need the help. And when I went to the social work office, I even felt before asking for the help, I really felt these people are really having a lot of work, because the bench is full and the needs are also heavy. So mine was one of them. And I got the support from the social work for one session, and from there now it's been not easy. Things change, right now, even when you talk to someone, when I talk to someone, I find it's different as before. It's really different, because now that there are things that come in life and they don't give you an earlier report, we are coming. Yeah, like sickness. It doesn't tell you that, we'll be coming in this month, this year, no. So in that case, when you're talking to people, you find the way they put, you say no. please sometimes be conscious about tomorrow. You don't know much. Yeah, you don't know much. What sometimes it's good to take life as it comes. Yeah. Then I also find myself with the urge to tell others that cancer is real and it's not something that we should hide, because the more you try to hide it, the more you are denying another person a chance to live. Because if there is a young lady outside there who I can give the information that you sense anything on your body which is not normal, please run to the doctor. Don't ignore. Then I have saved that lady to live more and serve the community and serve others and help more. So how about if I hide myself and don't tell people that I have cancer? Yeah. So coming out in the open, telling them, makes them now to ask me, how did you know? What have you done? Then I give them what I've done. This is how I knew. And so now I even want to go much earlier. Tell a young person that anytime you get something you are feeling it's not normal in the body, please just come out. Go to the doctor. Don't hide. Because we hide and we stay there. Because every time for my case, the doctors was like, why did you come late?
You want others to make the same.
I was asking myself, what is late? Yeah.
It's all relative.
Yes. So right now I really feel my sentences when I meet someone and it's a bit different. I really want to go outside there. I was thinking on how I can change even my work to go towards the line of what is happening now. That I can be an advocate for the cancer people, and also even if it's volunteer. And now that I'm in the church, using the platform I have to bring it out. So I didn't want to go back to the church immediately. I wanted to prepare myself so that when I go back, I'm a prepared package that as I tell the people, this is what it is and this is what it is. As much as we pray and we have faith that God is going to, a reality lands. Because I told you when I came, I had a bigger faith and it was saying that I don't have cancer. I don't have cancer. But the reality is, it was cancer. So it makes me even to act in denial that, me, I have faith, me, I'm praying. And really, let me mention this thing. You find someone telling you that we are praying for you. In fact, you're not sick. You are healed. You are healed. You know, yes, it's good to say like that you are healed. But the reality is, you are not yet free from cancer. And you know, the religion becomes so strong, they tell you don't even mention that you are sick. If you mention you are sick, then you are bringing the faith down. No. The reality is that you are sick, but you
can ask, you can seek religion as a support.
Yes. So I really want to help someone. If I can go out there and write, and my thinking this time is that I wanted to write a book.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to write a book, and I don't know how I'll go about it, but I've started putting some things down, and if it can be read there ahead, it will help someone also. Yes.
That's amazing. I think we can stop there.
Yes.
I think you mentioned words of encouragement, and you really explored your journey and challenges also.